Cowboys Nation, it's the postseason. Playoff football is finally here, and we got those Green Bay Packers coming into town. Let's talk about it.
Prescott, touchdown. Throw, look the middle, sacked again by Parsons again. CeeDee Lamb, was he down? They say no for now, and he's into the end zone.
Once again, welcome back to the channel and another pregame prediction video. This time, we kiss the regular season goodbye and we welcome the postseason. And I just want to let y'all know a couple of things. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching another season of Tony Goat Romo, unbiased and realistic Cowboys content. And then also, I've done this for 3 seasons. Am I the good luck charm? Maybe. I'm just kidding. But, you know, in the 3 seasons I've done it, we have gone to the playoffs. And in the 3 seasons, it's been back-to-back 12-win seasons. 2 out of those 3 seasons, we have won the division. So a lot of good stuff going on with the Dallas Cowboys right now. And thanks a lot for everyone who watched the post-game reaction video for the Washington Commanders of Week 18. But we got a big matchup here. We know who we're playing. It's the Green Bay Packers. And the Green Bay Packers are ending the regular season at a 9-8 record. You know, you are what your record says you are, right? And so the Green Bay Packers don't scare me at all. I'm going to put it out there. I think this is going to be a fun playoff game. I think everyone's going to be there. Dez is going to be there. Zeke is going to be there. It's just going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to have a fun night. And I'm just going to be upfront with you guys. I don't see this game being close. The Cowboys are ready for this, and I've been telling you guys, and if you guys have been watching me for years, especially this season, I have been very adamant in telling everyone that you got to look at this season as a part of a trilogy. And I talked about that on my pregame prediction video when the Cowboys were playing the Giants to open the season on Sunday Night Football. I said this it's a trilogy, and we had the first part 2 seasons ago, and we lost in the wild card to the 49ers. And then we had last year, we lose in a divisional round. And this is the third part, I feel like, and this is hopefully where I expect us to get things done. And this is just one of the things that is going to be one of those stepping stones. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to be easy or anything like that. It's the NFL. And when you get to the postseason, it's a brand new season. And, you know, I mentioned a 9-8 record, but postseason, you're 0-0. You're 0-0, and it's a brand new season and an opportunity to, you know, be a different team and look deep within yourself and be something different. But let's jump on a pregame prediction video, postseason football. We got Wild Card Weekend coming up. You guys can check out my picks for Wild Card Weekend, as well as check out the Madden prediction video and all that good stuff. Let's go back. Let's wind the clocks back a little bit and do a little bit of history between this rivalry. Both these teams have played in the postseason for years, for decades, and they're tied at 4-4. But last time we played this team outside of the postseason was last year. And that game went into overtime. Now, I know everyone's, you know, they get flashbacks. They get flashbacks of, you know, the Dez catch in Green Bay. They get flashbacks of, you know, Aaron Rodgers hitting that impossible pass in the divisional round. I know. You wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat and you've had nightmares. I get it. You see that gosh darn yellow and green G logo and you just get flashbacks. Well, let me tell you something. There's no Aaron Rodgers, okay? So we can at least differentiate from that and know that this is different. And Jordan Love has had an outstanding season and Matt LaFleur is still there. But they're not the same team. And granted, they have made a run here into the postseason, but that comes to an end Sunday afternoon. But like I said, Mike McCarthy has spent a lot of time in Green Bay, won a Super Bowl in Green Bay, and last year, November 13th, we went to overtime with that team and we lost. It was one of the most bitter losses. You can watch my post-game reaction for that one because that was such a bitter loss. It was awful. Couldn't take it. I was so frustrated. I was so mad. It was definitely a game that we should have won. But last time these two teams played each other in the postseason was actually Dak Prescott's rookie year, believe it or not. It's been that long. And we all know that game. That was bitter. And I remember my initial reaction when that first happened. I was sitting there. I wasn't living in the States at the time. I was living in Australia, and I was watching the game by myself. And I just sat there. I was super excited, like all of you, that the Cowboys had made a comeback, but I just sat there and I couldn't believe the season was at an end. It was It was awful. It was bitter tasting, and I couldn't believe it. And it was such an awful way to end the season that was filled with so much promise. And then the year before that, or not the year before that, but the last time that they played each other before that was obviously the Dez catch. Packers end up winning 26-21. Same exact situation. That was probably one of my favorite seasons ever watching the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, that in 2007 are some of my favorite years watching the Dallas Cowboys. And that one was the same thing too. Just kind of sitting there in silence and just soaking it all in and understanding that team holds a special place in my heart. The 2014 Dallas Cowboys. I love them very much. You're talking Tony Romo. You're talking DeMarco Murray, Dez Bryant, Jason Witten. So, when we talk about postseason, we're not new to heartbreak. We're Cowboy fans. We're Cowboy Nation. We're used to this. So all that to say, this is a game where you can avenge the feelings that the Green Bay Packers have put on Dallas Cowboy fans and Dallas Cowboys Nation everywhere. To avenge that feeling. To avenge the bitter loss that we had last season when we thought we could win it for Coach Mike McCarthy. And, avenge Dak and Zeke and losing their first, it was their first rookie playoff. It was their first playoff game as rookies and, get back at them. I know there's no Aaron Rodgers in this one, which is kind of the stinker, but, that's it. But Dallas has hosted 5 playoff games at AT&T Stadium. Can you believe that? They opened back in 2009, and I was there for one of them. My father and I, we went to the first playoff game at AT&T Stadium, the Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles, and they won 34-14. Very exciting. Felix Jones had the longest longest franchise touchdown run in franchise history in the postseason. that's a long one, but was there for one of them. It was also Romo's first playoff win, so I was glad to be a part of that, obviously, because I'm Tony Goat Romo. But they have hosted 5 playoff games, and they are 3-2 in total. So the 3 wins have been that Eagles win that I told you about, the Detroit Lions win with Tony Romo, and the Seattle Seahawks with Dak Prescott with his first win, him and Zeke's. 2 losses, obviously the Green Bay Packers back in 2016, that divisional round that we were talking about, and obviously the San Francisco 49ers wildcard loss. So, believe it or not that many playoff games hosted at AT&T Stadium since opening in 2009. Now we're in 2024, which is crazy, but this is for the 2023 season. So, 3-2, and a couple of things on the mark here. Obviously, Dak Prescott is 2-4 in the playoffs. That's where Romo ended with this playoff record, is 2-4. So if Dak gets this win, he passes Tony Romo with most wins and gets that 3rd playoff win, which we've talked about it. I've talked about Dak surpassing Romo, which I believe he has, in my opinion. And then also getting Mike McCarthy's first playoff win at AT&T Stadium would be another biggie too, because we won one last year and that was his first, but that was in Tampa Bay on the road. So this lot of things that could happen, right? And it's just a lot of feel good stuff, and I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. I am not alarmed. I don't have any hesitations. I don't have anything like that. I feel really good about going into this game, and obviously the Dallas Cowboys are 8-0 at home. Last season they were 7-1, and so on a 15-game winning streak at home at AT&T Stadium, and that was super important. Obviously week 18, getting that win seals the division, seals the number 2 seed. But now if you can win this game, you're going to get another one at AT&T Stadium. And depending on what happens in the divisional round on the other side with San Francisco, NFC Championship might be at AT&T Stadium. So you never know, right? You never know. So it's going to be really exciting. A lot of things. And look, man, I told this on a bunch of shows that I've been on all season long. I've been waiting to get back to the playoffs. I knew this team was going to get back to the playoffs. There's no doubt about it. Whether it was going to be as division champs or not division champs, I knew this team was going to get back to the playoffs. And this is just, I know we're going to win this wild card game. The real season for me starts, believe it or not, the real season for me starts next week, divisional round. Now, I am not blinded to the fact that we could get smashed in this game and lose this game. And if it does happen, I will be disappointed. I will be frustrated. You'll probably never see me on the internet again. If the Cowboys lose this game, they would rightfully lose this game, and it would be on their own dime. It would be their fault for losing this game, and they would have to do a bunch of uncharacteristic things for them to lose this game. And if they lose, changes need to be made. Changes need to be made. I don't care because it's been 3 seasons that we went 12-5. So if we lose, there we go. That's what I got to say. If we lose, you'll never see me again. If we lose in this wild card round against the Green Bay Packers to Jordan Love, you will never see this face again on this channel ever again. I did not expect to say that before making this video, but that's just how confident I am about this game. These boys they're back. We got some dogs. We got Micah Parsons, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Brian Anger. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just saying there are some guys who have had that sour taste in their mouths from 2 seasons ago, and especially last season. They will not allow a loss this Sunday. I guarantee it. They will not allow a loss. They will, even if it's close, they're not going to allow us to leave AT&T Stadium without a win and moving on to the divisional round. So anyways, that's it. Let's move on. We got to get into the pregame prediction video. The Dallas Cowboys defense versus this Packers offense. As we always do, throw up that stat list and be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more Cowboys content. Disclaimer always for these sort of things when we look at these stats. Obviously, it's not it's not dictating the game, but these stats can always help us formulate an opinion that can always, sway us in a certain way. Because oftentimes we look at this and, we've seen teams with, 10-1 records, and we look at their stats and they're kind of in the middle of the pack in terms of the NFL. And, that's where you got to call them, that's where you got to raise your hand and, call it out and say, look, I don't know if you're actually that good because I'm looking at these stats and, they're not as crazy as you maybe think they would be. So, and that's what I'm seeing here, but it aligns with, so if you look at their stats in terms of their offense being 11th overall, passing 12th overall, 15th rushing overall, and if you look at their record, they're 9-8. So, this team is the team that you would expect. They are who we thought they were. They are who we think they are. They're rightfully where they are, and the Cowboys being 12-5, they're rightfully where they are. There's no hidden things here. And I think a lot of people are going to hype up this matchup more than it is because Mike McCarthy versus Green Bay and the Cowboys and the Packers and the past postseason woes. And, it's none of that. The Cowboys are the better team. On paper, virtually, realistically, everything. The Cowboys are the better team, and the Packers have had a great season. Kind of a Cinderella season. You're kind of in the early years of Jordan Love, so a lot of it you don't really expect to be in the postseason. But they're here. They won their games, and if we take a look at their schedule here, they've won 3 in a row, beating the Panthers, the Vikings, and the Bears. Now, if you take a look at this, who they've beat, this is where we can sometimes, and we've done this all season long, where we look at who they've played, who they've beat, who they've lost to, and that could tell a lot. 3-game winning streak, but yes, it's the Panthers. Yeah, it's the Vikings with Nick Mullins. Yes, it's the Chicago Bears, and then, you lost to the Giants 24-22. So there, again, nothing really jumps out on the paper. They have some talented players, and we'll get into that. But there's nothing that I see here that worries me about Sunday and the Cowboys falling into an upset. The Packers are 4-5 on the road. We talked about the Cowboys being 8-0 this past regular season. The Packers are 4-5. But let's talk about, obviously, one of the main pieces of this offense. The main piece of this offense is Jordan Love. Jordan Love, second in the NFL with 32 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and he's right behind Dak Prescott because our boy is number 1 in the NFL with the most touchdowns. And so Jordan Love has been slinging it, has been looking really good doing it. He's a young talent. Hopefully he has a long career. And he'll get his. He'll get his during this game. He will connect with Reed. They will make plays. They will have big chunk plays. They'll have a scoring drive. And when they do, don't panic. They're here for a reason. You don't accidentally stumble into the playoffs. You earn it getting here. And there'll be a play or two, and there'll be a time or two during this game in the first half. Well, it'll be a little bit bumpy. It'll be competitive, as it should be. But the Cowboys built for this moment better. They will steer away from this game. And back to Jordan Love, like I said, this incredible stretch dating back to the Chargers game, which was, I believe, week 11. Since week 11, he's only thrown one interception. So, obviously we were hyped about Dak during that long stretch where he had only thrown one interception. I'm going to keep the same energy and say, wow, Jordan Love, despite the opponents he was playing, only one interception and just going on this insane tear, throwing the ball, having multiple touchdown games. And so, yeah, great talented quarterback, great young talented quarterback. But the main key here is their offensive line versus our defensive line. Their offensive line only allowing 40 sacks, or I think it's 30, but I just know it's third in the NFL, third fewest in the NFL. That is a really great offensive line. And if that offensive line for the Packers is able to establish their tempo, to establish their game, meaning their run with Dillon and Jones, this is going to be a tough game. This is going to be a long game. So our defensive line has to come ready, and especially Dan Quinn. And when I speak about Dan Quinn, fun fact, Matt LaFleur, the head coach for the Green Bay Packers, has come from the coaching tree of Dan Quinn, believe it or not. Dan Quinn, from his head coaching days in Atlanta, the quarterback coach for when Matt Ryan won MVP was Matt LaFleur. So that's going to be a very interesting matchup because that's offense versus defense. Does the mentee become the mentor? Does the master become the battle one? All that kind of sort of stuff. And Matt LaFleur has a lot of pre-snap motion. He has a lot of things moving before that ball is snapped. He loves misdirection. He loves creativity. Now, Dan Quinn, he can be a little bit stuck in his ways. I'm not going to lie. We've seen that this season. But preparation. If we can get to Jordan Love, and statistics show that when you get to Jordan Love in terms of pressures and sacks, he struggles. And so that's why the key matchup is our defensive line versus their offensive line. Can we generate pressure? Can we get to Jordan Love? Because this offensive line is tough, and this is going to be one of those tough matchups for the Cowboys to overcome. They do that, we seal this game, and this game won't even be close. But if that offensive line buys Jordan Love time, and if Jordan Love himself buys himself time by scrambling in the pocket, it's going to be a tough game. But I think what we saw in Week 18, even though it was the Commanders, I saw this defense be more disciplined. If they can keep that discipline going into this game, the long game, it being 60 minutes, 4 quarters, I like the Cowboys defense in this matchup. And like I said, Jordan Love, they're gonna get there. They're gonna get a scoring drive. But don't worry, don't hit that panic button. They're here for a reason. They're gonna show a little competitiveness. And don't be surprised, but the Cowboys will run away with this one. So let's jump into my defensive predictions for this wild card matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers. This offensive line is talented for the Green Bay Packers, and they're one of the best in the National Football League if you look at the statistics. Like I said, biggest matchup there is, can our guys generate pressure? Can our guys control that line in the run and in the pass? And I think it's going to be a matchup all game long, but I do like our boys getting to Jordan Love 3 times. I'm going to say Jordan Love is sacked 3 times by the Cowboys defense. Now, I mentioned, since week 11 against the Chargers, Jordan Love has only thrown 1 interception. Now, I believe our boys are going to generate a lot of pressure, and they're going to get to the quarterback. They're going to get to Jordan Love, and that's going to generate some takeaways. We talked about it the past couple of weeks. When the Cowboys don't get takeaways, it's a tough night. It's a struggle all 60 minutes. But when the Cowboys get takeaways, you see everyone feeding off of that. So I'm going to say 2 interceptions in this postseason game. And Jordan Love, even though throwing 1 interception in the past few weeks, he's going to throw 2 in his first playoff game. And last but not least, I believe this Cowboys defense dominates, and I believe they hold the Green Bay Packers under 20 points. And those are my predictions for this Cowboys defense taking on the Green Bay Packers offense. Once again, be sure to like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching this postseason pregame prediction video. Hopefully we got more in store. Hopefully this isn't the last one. But anyways, Cowboys offense versus this Packers defense. If you bring up the stat sheet again, Cowboys 5th offense in the National Football League. Their defense is 17th in the National Football League. I'm telling you right now, this Cowboys offense should feast. And if Mike McCarthy is in his bag, and if they are truly seizing everything, and if they come out here aggressive, ready to take control, this game won't even be close. This offense could have an incredible day planned ahead of them if the play calling's there. This defense is nothing special. The best thing about the Packers team is their offense, rightfully so. But this defense doesn't bring anything to the table in terms of making us hesitate, making us scared, making us worried. The Cowboys are the better offense. They have the most weapons, and they should attack from everywhere. I mean, this should be a big game for everyone. So plain and simple, you got to be aggressive. This is a continuation, like I've been telling you guys, of the past 2 seasons. You've been waiting all season to get back to playoff football, and that's the mentality that these boys got to have. I mean, some of these guys were on the roster last year, and they were on the roster 2 years ago. So for them to understand the moment, hey, we're back. We're back. It's a 4-game season, and this is the first game. I'm really excited to see this offense click. And so what I want to see is that same aggressiveness. You've been preaching carpe omnia. We need to see carpe omnia for 60 minutes. Be aggressive. And if these guys don't let their foot off the pedal, this game won't even be close. You accept the ball. So if you win that coin toss, you take that ball. You say, no. Our defense can take a break for the first part of this game. We're going to go out there. We're going to accept the coin toss. We're going to receive, and we're going to score on this opening drive, and we're going to take control because we're just picking up right where we left off. That's what I want to see from this team. And taking a look here at Dak Prescott, like I said, he's 2-4 in the postseason. I expect that second win to become the third win. I expect him to be 3-4 after this wild card matchup. And at that point, he would surpass Tony Romo, my guy. Obviously, I'm Tony Goat Romo. Do we think about rebranding Dak Goat Prescott? I don't know. But so that's his playoff record. And like I said, this is a mismatch here. I mean, Dak could go off this game. Honestly, I would love to see the run game, but man, just go out there and pass it, man. Just attack aggressively. CeeDee Lamb's in for a big game. Jake Ferguson could have a really big game up in the seam, up in the middle. The Green Bay Packers defense has shown the lack of ability to stop a tight end, and in the middle of the field, Brandon Cooks can get on the fun. Heck, man, maybe even Michael Gallup can make a showing. But here we go. Offensive predictions here for the Cowboys and the Packers going into this wild card matchup. First off, like I said, you got to accept the coin toss if you win it and take this ball, receive it, and I believe the Dallas Cowboys are going to score on their opening drive. You're picking up right where you left off from the past few postseasons and how they ended disappointedly. And so you take this ball and you carpe omnia it. You seize it. You take this opportunity and you show everyone, the fans, the opponent, everyone in the league, and you score on your opening drive. You establish the tempo in your home stadium in front of your home fans, and you take control right off the bat. And I believe that's what this Cowboys team does. They score on the opening drive. Now, Dak Prescott, 2-4 in the postseason, like I previously mentioned. I believe he has a historic, not historic, but he has an incredible playoff game. And he had a really great wild card game last season against Tampa Bay, 5 total touchdowns. And I think he has another great game here against the Green Bay Packers, 17th total defense in the National Football League. Dak Prescott will throw over 300 yards, and I'm telling you, I think he's going to have 4 touchdowns on the day, and he's going to have a great day. Number 4 is going to have another great playoff game. And with those 4 touchdowns, I got 2 of them going to CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb's going to have a very energetic day. I mean, the connection between Dak and CeeDee has been great. And Jake Ferguson's going to get a good touchdown as well, like I've been telling you. The Green Bay defense has not really shown the ability to protect the middle of the field, and they struggled against tight ends. So Jake Ferguson, you're getting in the scoreboard right there. And Brandon Cooks, you'll get the other touchdown right there. So Dak Prescott's going to distribute the ball really well on this wild card game. 4 touchdowns, 3 different receivers. Book it, save it. Dak Prescott is going to have a great game. Well, once again, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more Cowboys content. Check out all the other videos, my picks for Wild Card Weekend, as well as the Madden prediction for this Cowboys and Packers Wild Card matchup. So here we go. Game prediction, score prediction between the Cowboys and the Packers. I like this matchup. This is the one that I wanted. I wanted someone different. I wanted a team that we hadn't played this season. And so the Green Bay Packers are it. They're 9-8. Again, it's the postseason. It's a new season, right? You're 0-0. But, they are what the record says they are. They're 9-8 in the regular season. Their offense is going to get theirs. They're going to have 1 or 2 drives where they're going to get a touchdown. They're going to score. But our defense is better, and our offense is by far so much better than theirs. And we're at home, and this is a continuation of the things that we left undone the past couple of seasons in terms of the postseason. And so win it. Win it for the Cowboy fans who still have those Packer demons and have been having nightmares about what the Packers have done to the Cowboys in the postseason the past couple of years. So the Cowboys, win it for them, and win it for Coach Mike McCarthy, who spent years in Green Bay and even won them a Super Bowl, and win it for Coach to start off hopefully what would be a Super Bowl run and beating the Green Bay Packers, even though they beat us last year when we went back to Lambeau Field and we lost that game. So a lot of incentives here for the Cowboys to win this game. On top of, if you win it, you get to host another playoff game. And I believe they do. I have not been worried all week long. These Cowboys are going to handle their business. I'm confident in this team. They showed a lot of what they needed to in the regular season. And like I said, they're going to pick up right where they left off with the postseason. And this is just one of the steps in the way of getting to the next level. And the Cowboys are going to beat the Green Bay Packers. It's going to be a fun night. Cowboys are going to put up a lot of points. They're going to dominate. And they're going to send the Green Bay Packers home. And so my score prediction here is the Dallas Cowboys blow out the Green Bay Packers in the wild card round. They're going to win 38-17. And I'll even give you guys one more prediction on top. Cowboys obviously will go to the divisional round with this win over the Packers. And I think they're going to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Call me crazy, but I think they're going to get the Buccaneers. And because I think the Rams are going to beat the Lions. And I think the Eagles are frauds and they're going to lose to the Buccaneers. And that's going to set up Cowboys and Buccaneers in the divisional round. I'll give you one more, and that's what I think what's going to happen. And so I think we got a route to the NFC Championship. But thank you again so much for watching, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Be sure to follow me on all my social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, X, and if you haven't yet, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more Cowboys content. Check out the Madden prediction video. Check out the NFL picks for the wild card weekend. But just relax. It's gonna be a good game, and it's gonna be a fun game. The Cowboys are gonna handle their business. I got no doubt in my mind. Believe it. It's gonna happen. Cowboys are gonna win this game and move on. But let me know down below your offense, your defense predictions, your game prediction, and even your score predictions. And of course, I will see you guys Sunday afternoon after the game for our post-game reaction video. I will see you then. Go Cowboys.